I literally almost got abducted on a side street right off of Times Square. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good. Come on, vocals. Anyways, what's up, y'all? As you can see by the title, today I'm doing something a little different. I'm gonna be doing a story time. So today I'm gonna be telling a story about how I almost got kidnapped into human trafficking in New York City. Now, let me just make this little disclaimer. Like, I want to tell this story just for like awareness purposes. I'm from Boston, and I just feel like every week there is more and more girls going missing, like all the time. Like, there's like a new girl like every week, and it's just like, oh my god, like I don't know what's happening. And it's honestly scary because like a lot of the times, you know, I don't know who these people are, but there's a lot of people that do know who these people are, and it's just scary because like you literally never know. Like, you never know who it can be. I just kind of wanted to share my story to maybe like share some of the warning signs, and honestly just to like raise more awareness. I have never told this story to anyone besides my mom and Dante, like unless I've said it to someone without realizing, but like to my knowledge no one else really knows this about me. So it's like, if you're watching this and you know who I am, like think about it, like thank goodness like it didn't actually like escalate. It could have been me. But anyways, y'all, let's get right into the story. So this happened to me in 2016. I was in college, and I think I was like around 20. I went to college in upstate New York at Ithaca College, and usually when I would go home for breaks, it would take me like forever to get home because I'd have to take the Greyhound. So it would be literally like 10 hours. So like a 5-hour bus from Ithaca to New York City, and then a 5-hour bus from New York City to Boston. Like, it would take the whole day. It was crazy. But this particular break, my mom and my sisters were going to be in New York City because they were going to see a show on Broadway. And I was like, hold on now, let me just finesse this ride. So I was like, yo, like, why don't I just meet them in New York City and I can just drive back to Boston with them instead of taking another 5-hour bus back to Boston. You know what I mean? So saving time, money, boom. So that's what happened. When it was time for break, I went to New York City and I met up with them, and you know, I stayed at the Airbnb, blah 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 blah. They had already planned to go see this show on Broadway. I don't remember what show they went to see, but my mom had already bought the tickets for the show, and she couldn't just, I don't think she could have just like bought another one just like the day of or something like that. And honestly, it wasn't that important to me. Like, I was like, y'all go watch your Broadway show. I'm gonna just like hang out in Times Square. I think the show that they were seeing was like in, I don't know, the theater district, whatever, but it was like in the Times Square area. So like I was just like roaming around in Times Square while they were seeing the show. So like I was just on the phone with Dante, and I was just going in and out of stores, you know what I mean, like in Times Square. And my mom calls me and she's like, oh, we got out of the show, but we're in Old Navy now. So I'm like, okay, I'll meet you guys in Old Navy. So I think at the time I was like walking around in American Eagle, and like I said, I'm on the phone with Dante, but I have my headphones in, so it looks like I'm just listening to music, but you know, I'm on the phone. So I'm like, all right, let me leave American Eagle. I wasn't about to buy anything anyways, so I walked right out, and as I'm walking out of the door, this woman comes up to me like real loud and like, hey, I don't know what exactly she said, but she was like, hey girl, you want to take a personality test and da 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 da. And like, you know, like usually when someone is, I can tell they're trying to like get my attention and make me sign up for stuff, I just like ignore them. But she was just so loud, and like she was mad close to me. Like, it was, I couldn't ignore her. Like, it was so hard to ignore her. Usually I try like to look down and like don't make eye contact, but this woman was like right here talking about some hey girl, and I was like, I looked at her in the face, and I'm like, dang, like now I gotta talk to her, right? So she asked me if I want to take this personality test, and she's like mad loud, whatever, and I'm like, oh no, like it's okay, I'm good, like I'm a psych major, I don't need to take these personality tests, I do it already, you know what I mean? The way she was coming at me, it was like she was loud but real friendly. Like, she made me feel safe and like warm, like, all right girl, I'll take your personality test. So I was like, oh fine, whatever. And I'm like, what do I have to do? So she's telling me, okay, yeah, you just have to take this little survey, fill out this little survey thing. It's really, really cool. And it's just down there. And I was like, oh. And then, you know, I stopped looking at her and I looked around where we were. We were literally right at the corner. So American Eagle was, say this is like a corner, and this is like a main street, and this is a side street, this is a corner, this is American Eagle, and this is where they were set up. And so this was like a side weird street, okay? And so I'm looking at the corner and I was like, wait a second, I don't see like a table that she set up at, you know, like there's no surveys for me to fill out. Like there was nothing there. It was just like her, and like I noticed like maybe like a bag or something like that. I'm looking around and she's like, go ahead and take the survey down there, and she's pointing like down the side street, and I'm just like, oh, no, like it's okay, like I'm meeting someone, because I'm meeting my mom and my sisters at Old Navy. That's where I was walking to. So I'm like, oh no, it's fine, like I'm meeting someone. She's like, oh no, like, you know, again, like being very like, you know, I don't know what's the word, but she was just making me feel like, oh, fine, you know, I'll take it, you know. And I think it was just maybe like that woman to woman kind of feel, you know what I mean? And so I'm looking more around of like, why would there not be a table right there? I noticed is like there's a guy not standing next to her, but he's kind of standing in the area but just kind of pushed back, so like he wouldn't be the first person that I looked at like when I stepped on the corner, which he wasn't, because I noticed him like kind of after the fact. But I noticed him kind of standing there, but he was looking at her talking to me. So I was just like, oh, like, why is he looking at me? You know what I mean? It made me think like, oh, like maybe they're working together type of thing, just because of the way his position and stance was. And like, I don't know, I just got that feeling, but I kind of like didn't pay any mind, you know. But again, like this lady is like really being persistent about me going to take this test. So I'm like, oh my God, fine, okay, whatever. My dumb self, I started walking down the street with her. And, you know, the more I was walking down this side street, the more it felt like an alley. I kid you not. Like, I just felt like it was just like closing in. I'm like, it's feeling like more creepy and more dark. Like, even though Times Square is literally right here, all the hustle and bustle of New York City, like it's right here. But as I was walking down this street, I just felt like a darkness just started like coming towards me. And like, although like I feel like I didn't, no, I walked kind of far. I feel like I walked like 10 seconds down the street. When we got to where we were gonna go, she was like, oh, okay, like, and it's just through this little door. And I'm looking and I'm like, it looks like a gate. It kind of looked like a gate to like another little like creepy, weird alley. And then that's when I was just like, yo, Anise, what are you doing? Then I was just like, yo, like I walked this far and like I still gotta walk through more just to take a personality test that I already probably know what I'm gonna get. And I was just like, you know what, I am just over this. So I was just like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I can't, like it's taking too long. I'm really gonna meet someone right now. And she was just like, oh, no, please, da 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 da. And I was like, no, I'm really sorry. And I like kind of turned my head away from her just a little bit and just like kind of looked across the street a little bit. But in my peripheral vision, I kind of saw like that guy who I saw like next to her up the street on the corner. I kind of saw him more in my peripheral vision, like coming towards down the street a little bit towards us. So I'm like, this is kind of weird. I'm like, why is this man following us? You know what I mean? I saw him and then I was just like, I'm in an alley and now she wants me to go in another alley, and I'm just like, nah. So I was like, I'm so sorry, like I have to meet someone, like this is just taking too long, I'm so sorry. Like I'm like really apologizing to her. She's finally like, oh, okay, it's okay. And so as I'm turning to walk out, right, I noticed the guy's even closer down the street, and I noticed in his face he was kind of like, oh, like dang it, like oh. And again, like I'm like really distracted because Dante is in my ear. I just had so much going on in my mind. Like I'm thinking about the fact that I have to hurry up and meet them in Old Navy before they leave, like and I'm on the phone and everything like that. And so like nothing that just happened registered to me. So as I'm walking and I see this man going like, dang it, oh, like I'm just like, what is wrong with him? So then I'm walking up the alley and I go to Old Navy and I meet my mom. And I don't even think that I told her what happened at that time, just because like nothing clicked. nothing dawned on me. Nothing. It was after the fact. I think we were finally back in the car on the way home to Boston, and I was like thinking about the situation and how like weird and like uneasy it was. And I was telling my mom, and while I was telling my mom, it clicked to me. I was like, oh my gosh. Clicked in my head when I was telling her about the guy, and I was like, yo, he was probably doing like, dang, like, because like they were this close to getting me. They were literally this close to getting me. Had I walked through that gate, who knows what could have happened to me, you know? And he was probably doing that face because, like, after me being, like, persistent and, like, saying, no, 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 I have to go, they were probably like, dang, like, she put in all this work and, dang, we didn't get her. After I was talking to her, my mother, and telling her the story, everything was just, like, running in my head, and it was just like, I was like having like a mental like debrief, like, oh, it really settled in what happened. I was very, very into like learning about human trafficking, especially in high school. And I remember learning about like oftentimes a tactic that they use is use women because oftentimes the young girls feel more comfortable, more safe, more willing to like go with the women just because, you know, that comfortability. And that is exactly what happened to me. Like, I remember feeling like that comfortability with her because she was a woman. And had it been like the guy all up in my face talking about, you want to take a survey or a personality test, I would have been like, boy, bye. When the woman came up to me, it was a different type of feeling. And that is exactly the type of tactic that they try to use to get you. And it's very, very scary. I literally could have been gone. Had I walked through that gate, I don't think that I would have came back because the way that man was looking, he was mad that I got away. He was mad that I got away, and you could tell. Thinking back on it, I'm just like, dang, and he's like, how did you not see any of these signs? Like, there was no table for them to like fill out any survey. She's asking you to go down a weird random street, and she's asking you to go to this gate, and like that's when it's the final straw for you. In my head, I'm always like, dang, girl, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. But, you know, I don't know if that's just kind of like the victim blaming kind of thing where it's like, yes, I need to be more aware of my surroundings, but also this is sick, okay? This is like sick behavior. It's really, really crazy because I know that I probably looked so vulnerable to them. Like, I bet they could tell that I was just like, you know, just roaming around. Like, I don't know, like I probably looked like their perfect target, like someone who was kind of distracted. I know I was already talking on the phone, so they probably just thought I was distracted and I looked real young and everything like that. And, you know, I'm actually like really, really grateful that I was leaving American Eagle to meet my mom because had I had not like had that destination in mind, who knows if I would have been so stupid enough to go through the freaking gate with her. And I had thought back on it and like did a little mental debrief. I was like, that was a really, really scary near miss. Like, I could have been gone. Yeah, like this human trafficking stuff is so real. Like the fact that it can happen literally in Times Square where everyone thinks like, oh, this is the world of magic and dreams come true and oh, bright lights, happy, da da da. I literally almost got abducted on a side street right off of Times Square. And it could happen anywhere to anyone. I remember when I would, you know, read about this stuff in high school, the thing that really stuck out to me was the fact that, you know, they were like, it happens right under our noses. In nail salons, a lot of different places that we don't really suspect, but it happens. I think that it's really, really important to like be aware of this. I like kind of got into learning about it. Actually, it might have been the movie Taken. And I think when Taken came out, I don't even think it registered to me that the movie was about like a girl being abducted and sold into human trafficking. I don't even think that, you know, I really knew what that was until like later on. And I was like, oh shoot, this is what this is. And this is real. This is scary. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So I just wanted to make this video and just kind of share my story and just kind of put it into perspective. Like, it literally could be anyone. So if you see like these stories of people going missing, and please just like share them and repost. And you never know, you literally never know what could happen, who could see them, who can help. So that's just what I gotta say. I just wanted to kind of share my story, just put it out there. Maybe just open your eyes, because maybe where you live, it's not really happening. Like, people aren't getting abducted at a crazy rate. So maybe this is just like an eye-opener for you. So Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to my story. I've never done a story time. I don't really have many stories, but I just really wanted to share this one with you guys. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!